Today I'm sharing the smartest way to use intermittent fasting to lose belly fat. These are science-backed tips to help you specifically focus your body on burning fat as fuel and optimizing your intermittent fast for weight loss around the stomach. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by LMNT. More on them in a bit. Okay, so the first thing you want to make sure you're doing to optimize your intermittent fast for specifically the goal of losing belly fat is to break your fast earlier in the day. So instead of pushing your first meal or when you go to break your fast to like 2 p.m. or 4 p.m., try and have your first meal earlier in the day, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or even 11 a.m. Studies show that this method of intermittent fasting, also known as eTRF or early time restricted feeding, is actually better at helping the body to tap into fat burning mechanisms and reduce body fat. This method is also better at helping the body to naturally balance out cortisol levels, and high levels of cortisol are directly tied to weight gain around the belly. And the goal of breaking your fast earlier isn't to set this unrealistic intermittent fasting eating schedule, but instead to have the earliest eating schedule that actually fits your lifestyle, because it has to be maintainable, otherwise it's not going to work. I see this comment come up a lot whenever I talk about eTRF on my channel, where people will say, oh, I tried to do like what the study said of breaking my fast at 8 a.m. and having my last meal by 1 p.m. and it just didn't work for me. I'm absolutely not advocating for that specific schedule. In fact, I don't find that schedule to work for most people because there's still that very social aspect of dinner and family time that is really important for longevity. However, most of us, given our specific schedules, can at least have our eating window shifted a little bit earlier. So rather than having your last meal or the last food that you allow yourself to eat at like 10 p.m., try having it at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Regardless of the fast length that you're using, it's best to try and have those meals that you're eating with your intermittent fast a little bit earlier in the day. Now, before we dive into the next tip, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is an amazing electrolyte company that was specifically created with intermittent fasting, lower carb eating, and athletes in mind. Especially when you first start intermittent fasting, it's really easy to lose a lot of water and a lot of sodium. People tend to drink more water, but then they forget about the sodium aspect, and this can result in issues like headaches, low energy, and muscle fatigue. That's why I love using LMNT, because it actually has the sodium, the magnesium, and the potassium to help replace those lost electrolytes during the fast. And they do it without having any sugar, which makes it great from a weight loss perspective as well. Now, I personally have about 1 to 2 LMNTs per day, depending on my activity level and just depending on how I'm feeling. I have found that on days when I maybe didn't get as good of sleep, or on days where it's really hot, or if I did a really hard workout, I tend to need 2 LMNTs to feel my best. I love how convenient it is that I can just bring a bunch of these little packets with me wherever I go, and I can just dump them in my water and give my water a shake and be able to have high quality zero sugar electrolytes. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serve packets free with any LMNT order. It's a really great way to test out all 8 flavors, so you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/autumn. This is only available through my link, so make sure to check out drinklmnt.com/autumn. I'll also have the link down description below. Okay, the next thing you'll want to test out is using a 14 to 16 hour fast. The problem that I see a lot of people do, especially when they are looking to achieve a weight loss goal, is that they just try and make their eating window shorter and shorter and shorter, especially if they've hit a weight loss plateau. But the issue we run into is that this doesn't allow you to actually eat enough protein specifically to support that body recomposition goal. Protein is very important for allowing the body to hold on to muscle mass while you're naturally tapping into fat burning. And holding on to muscle mass means that your body's metabolic rate or your metabolism can stay higher even as you're losing body fat. But if you're simply just not eating enough and making your fast longer and longer and longer, then this means you're going to lose muscle mass and your metabolism will decrease, and you're going to constantly be in that yo-yo state where you have to eat less and less and less. This is why I personally never recommend OMAD or 1 meal a day, especially if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal. There might be a time and a place for extreme considerations of gut health, but for a weight loss goal, it is not something I found to work long term. And when the intermittent fast is too long and your eating window is too short, we get into issues of gut distress and bloating from eating too much at the meal. So you go from not eating all day to then suddenly having to stuff all your meals into such a short amount of time that is just too much for the gut to handle. This can lead to gut distress and bloating, and when you're looking looking to achieve a weight loss goal, you don't want to be uncomfortable during the process. You want to feel satisfied, and you also don't want to get gut distress and feel bloated. Having that intermittent fast of 14 to 16 hours per day for most people allows you to actually eat enough protein to support your goals of body recomposition and losing belly fat while still getting the benefits of the intermittent fast. Plus, a higher protein diet anyway has been found to help the body better burn fat as fuel and lose body fat than just simple calorie restriction alone. Now, this point can't be stressed enough, so if you want to know how much protein you need to eat per day to help you achieve a weight loss goal, make sure you check out this video right up here. Okay, and the third thing to factor in with your intermittent fast when you're looking to specifically lose belly fat is to eat about 3 meals per day. There can be a case for 2 meals per day, but I've seen the most success with 3 meals per day. And these 3 meals, of course, are eaten during your eating window once you go to break your fast. So for example, this could be like having your first meal at 10 a.m., your next meal at 1 p.m., and your last meal at like 5 p.m. The reason why this is so effective is because it allows you to evenly split your protein in between those 3 meals as well. With a 2-meal structure, it can be very difficult to actually fit all of your protein needs in between just 2 meals. Some people can thrive on like a 2-meal and a mini meal structure, especially if the mini meal is protein emphasized. But a 3-meal structure allows you to evenly split your protein up, so you're never going to feel excessively full from those meals, but you're still able to get all your protein to support that body recomposition goal. This 3-meal structure also inherently removes snacking, because let's say you were someone that didn't really have a true meal structure, and once you broke your fast, you just kind of graze throughout the intermittent eating window. This can be problematic because we tend to graze on foods that aren't really rich in protein, and that can shift our body into a state of fat storing instead. So inherently, you likely are not getting enough protein, but also from a gut health perspective and from a bloating perspective, that grazing can shut off the migrating motor complex and the gut cleaning process that is activated between meals. So when looking to optimize for a belly fat loss goal and a body recomposition goal, what we want to do is make sure that those meals are eaten earlier in the day with eTRF, that the eating window actually allows for enough protein, which is usually going to be about a 14 to 16 hour fast, and that we're sticking to a true meal structure that evenly splits that protein up, with a 3-meal structure tending to be the best option. Now you can get an idea of how to apply this and what I eat in a day as a nutritionist with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.